Britain's King Charles and Queen Camilla will be in New York City today. It's the second leg of their historic U.S. visit. On Tuesday, the King spoke to Congress, met with the president, and he was a guest of honor at a state dinner last night. CBS News royal contributor Roya Nikkhah is here at the table, live and in color. She's royal editor for Britain's Sunday Times. She's also co-host of the Royals podcast. It's so good to see you live and in color in the flesh, because normally we see you on the TV screen. Really glad you're here,
Oh,
Roya.
it's so nice to be here.
Well, I know you were in the room last night. You were also in Congress last night. We'll get to that in just a second. But I'm wondering what you make of the King's speeches in both places, because people said that he thread that needle very carefully. Did anything he say surprised you?
I don't know whether it surprised me. I thought both speeches were quite punchy, and they were dressed up in a very sort of soft power, diplomatic, needling kind of way. I thought some of the comments in the Congress speech, the reference to NATO, the importance of NATO, Charles talking about his service in our armed forces. We know that Donald Trump has not been so kind about our armed forces recently, but that focus on repairing and renewing the special relationship, so much around this trip has been about how damaged the special relationship is because of our respective governments. And I thought the way that Charles delivered some quite punchy points to Donald Trump, but under the guise of, you know, you're my friend, Donald.
Yes.
And we know how keen Donald Trump is on our royal family. I thought he pulled it off very well.
What do you see as the core mission of this trip? And you're right when you say Donald Trump is very keen on the King. And the King is aware of that. He's
very aware of it. He's very, you know, just yesterday on the South Lawn, you had Donald Trump talking about how much his mother had a crush on Charles from when he was young. I think the core mission of this trip is twofold. I think, one, the government want to sort of remind the United States, given the war of words in the last few months, that the UK, you know, is a good partner, is an important ally. But also, I think it's all about reminding Donald Trump, I think that, you know, the UK isn't just always going rogue. We are here to stand by the US, and the royal family is a very important part of that. And I think that is the soft power mission that's being deployed here.
The speech was really well received in Congress, and in it, the King made reference to victims. His brother, former Prince Andrew Mountbatten now, and all of the conversation, some Congress wanted the King to meet with Epstein survivors. That did not happen. How much of that either undergirds or overshadows this visit?
It's really interesting. I actually interviewed Virginia Giuffre's family last week on our podcast, and they have repeated their calls for the King and Queen to meet them and survivors during this trip. They're not doing that. The Queen, of course, does do a lot of work around supporting survivors of domestic violence and sexual abuse, which she is going to meet survivors today. What was really interesting about that speech, I thought, we've had Congressman Roya Nikkhah repeatedly call for Charles to meet with victims. There was a lot of deliberation from the palace and the King as to whether or not he would mention them in the speech. The fact that he talked about both America and the UK supporting victims of ills in society was interesting. We went back to the palace and said, is he referring to the victims of abuse there? And they said to us, he had them in his mind. That's what he's referring to. So that is, I think, as far as he can go on this mission. Otherwise, I think it would overshadow it. I thought it was notable that he mentioned it.
Do you think he ever considered meeting with them?
He probably would like to. The reason that the palace say they can't is because in case it prejudiced the ongoing investigation, police investigation into Andrew, and you know, that's for the good of the victims, they say. I'm sure Camilla would want to as well, given her work in that area.
And there's no word yet whether the King will meet with Harry and Meghan while he's stateside.
He won't.
He won't.
Why do you say that so absolutely?
Because I know our schedule, Gayle, and it is mad, and we're not good. I know our schedule. And sadly,
where does that relationship stand right now?
Between the King and Harry, they talk. I know they talk a little bit.
OK.
I know from having spoken to Harry's people recently that Harry is very keen to see his father when he comes over in July. I think he'd love to spend some family time up at Sandringham. I don't know whether that will happen. He's very keen for the children to see the King.
Of course.
Yeah, they've never met.
I don't think it's as bad as it was a year or two ago. It's still a little bit fractious. I think there's a lack of trust, I think, there.
Yeah. And William and Harry's kids have never met. So
I think they have met when they were very little, back long time ago, but not for a long time. That relationship between the brothers, totally frozen.
Still strained.
Yeah.
All right, Roya Nikkhah, good to have you.
Wonderful.
Good to have you here.
Wonderful to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy yourself while you're here.
Thank you. I am.
We'll see a show.
Yeah, you'll have lots of free time.
There's no time. There is no time. There is no time.
This is a show.
I love Roya said, I've seen the schedule.